Hello, I'm assuming Dead by Daylight community if they see this video, since this is more directed to them. And Forsaken people, I am sorry, but this is just going to be mostly me yapping and explaining. But this is John Doe, if he was in Dead by Daylight, because I feel like he fits the best for Dead by Daylight. He has a cool design. The only other person I would say is Cool Kid, because Cool Kid's kind of like the poster child of Forsaken, to the killer side. 2 times the survivor side, because 2 times the favorite child. But, to the Dead by Daylight community, I'm gonna quickly explain Forsaken.
Oh my god, I am sick and tired of you 2-time 14 nerfs!
Forsaken is an asymmetrical horror game. Barely horror, it's just an asim, pretty much. Now, like your Dead by Daylights, there's survivors and killers. The killer's goal is to kill survivors, and their survivor goal is to outweigh the clock. You see that little thing on the top? If that reaches 0, the survivors win. If the killer kills all the survivors, then the killer wins. Something Forsaken does better than Dead by Daylight is the characters. You don't really care about the characters, you just care about their lore, not them as a person. At least that's me. But the characters are so fleshed out in this game that, you get to kind of like see their characters. Like, the best example of this is N7 and Cool Kid, which is, I believe they do killers also better, where it's like, instead of just being another guy that's killing for the sake of killing, like, Cool Kid is a kid. The weird, spooky entity tricked Cool Kid into thinking this is all just some big dream, and they're not dead. The survivors are not dead. You're not killing them. You're just putting them to sleep. It's sleepy time. And an N7 is his dad, so there's characters or special voice lines when Cool Kid kills his dad.
Playtime's almost over! Precious dip, it's cool, it's good, it's blowing off your socks. You know you're never getting rid of Cool Kids on your block. I'm it! Here I come! Tag! You're it! Ouch! Ashes, they all fall down. You're no fun. I'm telling Dad. Let's do that again sometime. See you next time. Aww, feeling sleepy already? We were only just starting to have fun. Look familiar. Oh well. You were strong, but not strong enough. We should play sometime. You're my favorite playdate. It's so nice to see you, Dad. Hope this doesn't hurt too much. There's no need to be so scared. What's wrong, Papa? Looks like you need some shut-eye, Dad. Come out, wherever you are! Aww, almost over already!
The voice lines are so good, they got the character down, 10-year-old. And the sad thing is, that's the only Forsaken character with voice lines that isn't a skin. Yes, technically we have Noli, another killer, but his whole thing is chaotic creature that's glitchy and broken and dead, like a living corpse. So half of his voice lines is just internet reference with a glitchy effect over it. Now, let's talk about John Doe, the main character of this video. Let's give a little breakdown on his lore.
When I play Roblox, some people come to me saying,
"Where is the corrupted arm? You look like a fake John Doe."
"Bitch, John Doe. It's not from
How John Doe's lore came to be probably went like, okay, we have war hero and a soldier that died and is now a zombie, and not Jason. He's not Jason. A father that failed at parenting, yes, yes. Two best friends that were possibly gay, and one killed the other, and the other one's angry because they been brought back to life. The father from earlier, before he was a father, and his best friend, which were both probably gay. Ex-best friend, because his friend got a drug addiction. Also probably gay. Why not? Ex-husband and wife, because the husband got feral. His lore is, he worked for Roblox, specifically testing like bugs and glitches to make sure the servers are okay. But Builderman, like the little money-hungry guy, probably with money, was like, yes, the servers are safe, you can go check it, but the servers were not safe. There was like some infection thing in it. So John Doe goes into the infection thing, and I'm assuming his wife also works there. I don't know what job she did, because she blames herself. Jane Doe blames herself for what happened to John Doe. John Doe goes in there, gets infected, becomes a feral killing machine with spikies, a lot of spikes. And then pretty much what Jane Doe does is like, okay, my husband is kind of going crazy. I'm gonna blame everybody, every higher up in this place, especially Mr. Builderman that said it was okay and safe. And then don't know what happened before that. Then John Doe gets brought to Forsaken because the entity wants special entity things. We don't know why the entity's doing this. So the entity brings John Doe and also Jane Doe, like later down the line. Jane Doe comes, and then the entity's like, oh no, John Doe isn't killing her because marriage stuff. So the entity just blocks out her face. I don't know how that works. I don't know how dumb John Doe has to be like, that's not my wife because she doesn't have a face. Like, I don't know. I'm assuming it's a parasite kind of thing, because in the lore, it's disclaimed that he is still sane, but somewhere in his mind, and it's like there's something controlling him and telling him to kill. So I'm assuming it's like, oh, he got infected with parasite, and the parasite is forcing him to do these things even though he doesn't want to. But then also the milestones, which I believe, they don't say it's canon, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like FNAF books soft canon, where it's like, oh, in the books it's like, I mean, in the milestones, he slowly starts to lose his humanity, and the corruption takes him over and stuff. So maybe that's what's happening to him. He's like still has like a slight bit of humanity, but maybe not. I don't know. The lore this is the most we know about character lore. Him and Cool Kid. Builderman has no lore besides what I just exclaimed. But I think it's about time I talk about gameplay. His gameplay is Trapper. I will not show you any because too much B-roll. I don't want to put too much B-roll. His thing is, he has a wall move. He has little spikes that come out of the ground after a long wind-up. If a survivor gets hit by the spikes, they take 12 damage, and it acts like a wall. He cannot go through the wall, so it's just to wall off survivors. His next move is he stomps the ground with his little corrupted foot. He stomps it a couple of times, and a little puddle of mysterious black glitchy liquid appears on the ground. And if anybody stands on it, their aura gets revealed to him, and he gets a small speed boost, and they get a small speed decrease. So don't do that while you're nearby, because then he'll just run over to you and instantly kill you. His one other move is Error 404. That's like the only move I remember the name of. He just stands still and he can see the aura of everybody for like 5 to 6 seconds, I think. So yeah, or 4 seconds, probably because arrow 404, yeah, just 4 seconds. It's just to be able to see everybody for a quick second. One other move is his status effects. He has Unstoppable. During the windup of any of his moves, if somebody tries to stun him, he gets a very short stun, like only 1 to 2 seconds, and he gets a small but very long speed boost. So, if you like give him a little stun during his windup, he gets a little angry and he'll run after you and scream in your ear. And his other ability is kind of useless, where it's just Corrupted Trail or probably something like that, where he leaves a little mist trail behind him. Anybody that stands in it gets like a poison effect. That's it. I'm not the best with Dead by Daylight, but this is how I would transition him over to Dead by Daylight. And yes, I'm going to talk about perks, but not add-ons, because I think that's a little too much.
Oh my. Don't crash out, don't crash out, don't crash out.
Bro, I'm about to crash out, bro. I'm about to crash out.
Don't crash out, don't crash out, don't crash out, bro. You're good, you're good, you're good, you're good. We're good.
I'm about to crash out, bro. I swear to God, I can't do it anymore, bro. I can't do it anymore, bro.
Now let's talk about John Doe's ability. His first ability will be the spikes. I think being able to create a wall would be like different and will be very hard, but being able to block off loops and other things, it might make him OP, but I think a reason why would it be, when he hits a survivor, I think it would be impossible to down a survivor. Yes, it will take 1 damage point from them, but it will be impossible to do it, just to make him, like, just not a better version of Pyramid Head, because it's a lot like Pyramid Head. He can technically move the angle of the spikes. It's not a straight line. So being able to, like, do a curve to, like, cut them off. But I do fear that, in the end, people would just say, oh, he's just a better Pyramid Head. Another ability he has would be his passive. Only 2 things. Being the Unstoppable passive. If you're doing your charge and somebody tries to flashlight you while you're doing your spikes, or if you swing your M1 but they throw a pallet on you right before that, you get an angry little speed boost and the pallet breaks. It's very small speed boost. It's not like you instantly catch up to them, but it's definitely like something to say, hey, you just reset the chase instantly right there. Now let's talk about the perks. The first one will be definitely the longest yap I have to do it for. Last Man Standing. I don't know if there's a perk already called that, but how it works is in Forsaken, like Dead by Daylight, when there's 1 survivor left, something special happens. Music starts playing. Epic music. It's a 1v1, and I think how this perk would be, if there's 1 survivor left, and you close the hatch, it starts an LMS. A timer appears on the top of the screen for how long is fair, and it's just a who's ever better at the game wins. Because the second the timer hits 0, the survivor gets invincibility and all the exits open up. For the killer, they win if, of course, they kill the survivor. It instantly starts a skill issue, I can imagine some people saying, but still, it's skill. It's just a skill-based perk. If you're a bad killer, the perk is going to be useless for you. The main thing the reason why I want this perk made is because the music would be so epic. Just one thing I do say about Dead by Daylight, the music is not really that good. Who's, like, actively listening to the music? But the Forsaken music, I have, like, multiple playlists. I have 2 playlists that are practically just filled with that music. Because it's so good. And if they could just bring that over to Dead by Daylight, one thing that would make it so good, just some epic music, and that's it. The next perk would be Malice. In the Forsaken game, you don't choose killer or survivor. When you're a survivor, doing tasks and other things earn you Malice. If you have the most Malice in the lobby, you become killer. So I think how this perk would work is just a simple gen regressive perk, being if you pop a gen, if you hit, for every, like, pop gen, the next generator they have to do has like an extra 5% they need to complete. Of course, stopping at 3 gens, so they have to do an extra 15% for the next 2 gens. Next would be a corrupted, I don't know what the name is, but you know those wedding roses? Just like a corrupted, like, wedding rose thing would be like the whole thing. And how it pretty much works is a simple, whenever you're using your ability, if you successfully use your ability, like if you're Springtrap, if you hit your axe on a survivor, you pretty much just get like a small reduction on your, or a small increase, I don't know which better, let's say an increase on your terror radius every time, and it stacks until you miss your ability. So who knows, if you're very good at the game, your terror radius could envelop the whole entire map.